Patreon.
Boy, get it together. So we have Patreon now. So
that's a lot to cover. Oh my goodness.
I know it's too much.
It's too much real. It's too much fresh serve reactions. Oh my god. What's going on, everybody?
Hola, fellow peeps. Welcome to Anime Eats,
where we give you freshly served reactions. My name is Rendro, your video editor here.
I'm Marissa, your cosplayer.
And welcome back to Anime Eats, where we react and watch nothing but anime. Alright, so right now we are reacting to My Hero Academia Season 2, Episode 25, I believe.
I think that's wrong.
24?
I think it's 23.
23?
Man, we need to get our shit together. I don't know, we're reacting to episode something. It's in the title. Before we get into it, be sure that you like this video, be sure that you subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification button because it's very importante. And be sure that you comment down below letting us know how much you love the episode, what you thought of it, what you think about, and just whatever you want to say. You could comment poop. And I'm sure somebody might be smart and comment poop just for me. But hey, I'm glad that you commented, so just comment poop. Also follow us on social media. Follow our Instagram at Anime Eats. And follow our personal profiles at Miss LaBlue, at For Real Though.
That's me.
And we have Patreon.
Ooh, so what's that?
If you go into the description box below, that's where all the links to social media will be, and the link to Patreon. Awesome
sauce. Alright, without further ado, let's get right into this video in 3, 2, 1.
ちょっと分かってきたか知らねえけどよ。てめえはつくづく俺の神経逆なでするな。体育祭みてえな半端な結果はいらねえ。次の期末なら個人成績で嫌顔にも優劣がつく。完膚なきまでに差をつけててめえぶち殺している。ミドリア爆豪チーム練習試験レディーゴー。言わなくちゃ。僕とかっちゃんはチームなんだから。
Yeah.
ちゃんと話し合わないと。待ってよかっちゃん。ついてくんな。
Wow.
Like what's he supposed to do?
待ち構えてるはず。ここは迂回して。なんで逃げなきゃなんねえんだ。ぶっ倒した方がいいに決まってんだろ。
We knew this was gonna happen.
Of course, they have completely opposite views.
終盤まで翻弄して疲弊したとこ俺がぶっ潰す。
Now beat him up.
You know how much it takes?
No.
Okay, that's too much.
That's the most. What? I would not expect him to actually hit him.
Does Bakugo realize who they're up against?
Whoa, what? Bro, oh my, it's the...
I know.
That's ridiculous.
And he has those things on.
Just some intimidation, yeah. Good shit. To All Might.
Ooh, All Might's being seen. That'd be so scary.
Imagine if he was a villain. Nobody can stop him. There you go. Don't tell me what to do. Shit. Yeah. Is it finger in his mouth? Damn.
You're not gonna get anywhere.
Wow, really?
Ay, ay, ay.
That is a whole mess. Boy, you didn't no sweat though. Here we go. What the fuck you get the? What the fuck?
That's scary.
Damn. Oh my, you got chill, B. And that was throw up because they like fucking boiled it up.
Let's see this. It's a Pokemon?
Deku was right there with him. Most definitely threw up. Don't regret this.
What?
That's punch him right back, bro. And he dipped. That's how he dipped. They're gonna beat each other.
Interesting.
Damn. Oh, sheesh.
Literally roasted.
Damn, he can't even handle that.
Roasted.
Oh, his shoulder. Nice. Yep, yep.
Of course.
They're going to the escape gate. No, oh my god, get it in a second, boy.
He's like, tell me more.
Damn, he busted his shit. He busted his shit. Near my top speed.
Dang.
Yes, he do. Oh, he came right back.
Ooh.
He ate that shit.
He blocked him?
With Deku.
No, I'm saying Deku blocked him.
No, he tossed him.
He did.
Yes. Simply power. Dang. Oh, that's a huge ass blast. Die? Is that die? Ouch. Damn, so much. Oh.
Oh my god.
Damn. Damn.
Deku's been a ragdoll this whole time.
Let's get on. And but he's fucking breaking his shit. His bad. He's paralyzed, dude. Cobble together hard.
That's some encouraging words.
There you go. Bakugo. Oh.
Dang.
Oh my fucking boss ass nigga, boy. He gonna come back and help out Bakugo.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, I'm just making that call.
Yes. He gonna come back and punch your ass. Smiling.
It's on shaky smile, but it's there. Ooh.
Let's go. That's how you were from the very beginning, bro. Just like who? Just like him. Just like All Might was when he was little. How do you do that? Shigaraki.
こっちじゃ連日あんたらの話で持ちきりだぜ。何かでけえことが始まるんじゃねえか。そいつらは。あんたがそうか。写真で見て生で見ると気色悪いな。
These two.
This is Japanese Harley Quinn or what?
Yes. First of all Might, bro. Without that injury, bro, nobody cannot hang with you, bro. Even with the weights, you look like you was not slowing down like that, you know?
Yeah, and the fact that he caught up to them with no problem and he was like, yeah, this is nowhere near my normal speed without the weights. I was like,
he's
what?
Ridiculous.
Every time we see him exert his power, it's just more and more ridiculous to put it on a scale or try to.
And he used his own fucking power punch away so he can propel himself back to Midoriya and broke his back.
Yeah, I mean,
and he bounced to the fucking bus.
And it's literally his first like preemptive strike was just he was like, all right.
Intimidating strike. It was an intimidating strike.
Yeah, and he literally all he did was like what punch the air and like freaking send so many things flying and send them flying.
Destroying. Just a gust of wind destroys. It's a hurricane, bruh.
Literally, there was just a gust of wind from the impact of your fist. Like, that's crazy. That's insane.
That's insane. When you can swing at nothing and produce so much power and gusts of wind that destroys everything.
It's just every time he blows, no pun intended, he blows everyone away.
I love how fucking Deku came back and punched him. Decked him right in the face because he was not acting like himself at that moment.
It's crazy because these two, like, they bring out the rawest, highest emotions of each other, and they really, like, getting on each other's nerves like that and making each other go at it, I feel like brings out their biggest weaknesses in a way and challenges them to overcome those weaknesses because they're facing them head on. Like, they cannot hold them back when they're going against each other, which, I mean, I don't know, tell me if I'm wrong, but does that seem to be the case? I think it does. When Deku came back for Bakugo, I noticed that, again, it's the creators, animators doing what they do. I know you guys know what you're doing. So when Deku ran back to get Bakugo instead of just running through the escape gate, it, like, when it showed him turn around and sprint back towards Bakugo and All Might, it showed, like, the white backdrop, the, like, that, like, heavenly looking backdrop that's just pure white, and it shows Deku, it pauses for a moment and shows him, like, sprinting towards them. That's the exact same animation that they used when he originally sprinted to help Bakugo the first time with the slime, and they showed that, like, they flashed back to that moment, and I was like, oh, I see what you guys did. So you animated this moment the same way you animated the first moment he ran back to save Bakugo. The first moment he showed he has what's needed to be a hero before he even had a quirk. That's crazy because that's before he even had any quirk or any know-how to save somebody.
And you know what's crazy? During that time, even fucking All Might was doubting himself at that little moment. But then once he saw Deku hop in, that's when fucking All Might turn up.
Think about that. Like, the number one hero, known as the symbol of peace, looked up to, even for a brief moment, looked up to Midoriya, a kid that had no quirk at that time, but was doing what every hero should do, just from their core, from their heart. And so Midoriya's impact is insane.
And you know what's cool? Well, now we have Todoroki, Midoriya, and Bakugo who look up to All Might, that we know openly look up to All Might. But all three of them look up to him in different ways. Midoriya look up to him because he's always smiling, no matter what. Bakugo look up to him because he says he'll always win at the end or something like that. That's his will. He'll always win at the end no matter what. Or he sees All Might winning always because he had 4 guys around him. But you think he's gonna lose? No, he always win at the end, and that's what drives Bakugo. And Todoroki had a different one. I forgot, but it was different from those two. I think that's amazing how All Might inspires people in different ways.
Yeah, from completely different angles, and they're completely different types of people too. So the way they look at him and look up to him is totally different. And not even in the end, it's the same.
Yeah, you're right. And not even with the kids or whatever, even the villains, like Stain looks up to All Might in a way. That's why he's the only person that will allow one hero to kill him. That's All Might, bro. You have so much pressure on you. That's why. That's crazy.
That's crazy, but it's funny because Midoriya is already the same way. He already has the same impact on people. Like, Bakugo doesn't realize it, but Midoriya has an impact on him. Even though it feels negative, like I said, that true raw emotion, that true raw weakness, that comes from a very strong emotion, a very strong passion, even if it feels negative. He said, when Mineta said, heroes are not heroes because they're cool, they're not cool because they're heroes, they're heroes because they're cool. And he was like, isn't that right, Deku? And so he was thinking about Midoriya as, like, the image of that. And I was just like, oh my gosh. So Midoriya has that same type of impact on everybody around him that All Might has, even All Might himself.
Midoriya is still the same person. Even with the new quirk and everything, he's still the same person. It's not getting to his head. I don't know if you realize it or not that these people compare him or he impacts people. But I love that he's still a humble guy and takes all the blame and sees through his faults and all that stuff. And he
cannot help but run back and save somebody who's in need. You know, he can't take the win, even if it's for both of them. He can't do that morally, and that's amazing. Like, he's so pure-hearted. Just this fight alone, it kind of was able to, I guess, break the ice for them. in like terms of working as a team in the future. Not saying that that'll happen, but I'm sure like how is it not gonna happen?
It's not.
You know
It's
what I mean?
going to happen.
It's going to happen. Like I don't doubt that at all. And so I think just like every episode we've seen, I feel like the majority of season 2 has been heavily focused on watching all of them mature a lot, and this ties into like their maturity with each other, and I just know it's gonna be really cool because I feel like this was the first time we got to see them take their first step together, you know?
Yeah, and then we knew that Kachan was not going to listen to Deku. We already knew that they probably had to fight each other. And then even when they finally were together, it was still hard for Bakugo to accept that. You know, but he knew that he needs to do this. And he had plans, he just did not want to tell him for some reason. Oh, well, we know his reason.
Oh, we know. He just, you know, prideful and whatever.
His plan is really dope. Or it was really good. It was a good plan. He gave him the gauntlet. And then Deku used the gauntlet and broke his shoulder.
Yeah. Yeah, see, that's funny.
That's how strong Kachan is. He had to work, just like Deku had to you know.
See, but every time Deku and Bakugo come into a close interaction like this, and this one, it's direct teamwork with each other, they both surprise each other every time, and they do nothing but gain more respect for each other. And Bakugo doesn't really truly admit that, but we all know it. We all know that they gain mutual respect for each other each time. They learn more about each other, they learn more about each other's perspectives, what they're going through, and it's weird because it's almost like because they grew up together the way that they did, they almost know each other the best. You know, how Deku punched him and said, like, you're not going to say that you're going to allow yourself to lose or whatever because you always said you'll win in the end, you know? Like, I know you, and I know that's not you, so wake up. You know, like, he's the person able to do that. And Bakugo's able to do that to Midoriya because he pushes Midoriya's fears and Midoriya's weaknesses. Just how Midoriya wanted to just up and run from the get-go. They were saying it was the nurse who was saying that he probably idolizes All Might way too much. Way too much. Like they're gods. Yeah, he thinks he's godly and like unbeatable and untouchable, and because of that he just wants to jet out. Whereas Bakugo on the flip side is the complete polar opposite.
But she didn't really know about Bakugo.
No, she didn't say anything about him. But we know Bakugo is just so super prideful, and his pride is gonna make him maybe not look at the potential weaknesses he has in the situation and just go for it full throttle, not really thinking intelligently about it. So both of them, they balance each other out in this weird way, and they like learn things from each other because they're just so opposite, and they have such strong disagreements. It's a really interesting relationship.
It's so weird that Midoriya just continues and still look up to Kachan since they were little. And he still admires Kachan. That's amazing to me.
Yeah, to me, I think they have a very complex form of care and respect, maybe even like love somewhere deep down in their hearts for each other. Midoriya I wouldn't doubt, but I just don't know if I can say that for Bakugo, but it's definitely a complex emotion, whatever it is. But let's also talk about the end with Shigaraki looking at the picture of Midoriya.
Okay, one thing about Shigaraki before we get really in depth, a little funny thing, you know, he have his whole face, you know, his whole hand on his face. How does he breathe? Cause he just breathing in his hot ass breath. How do you brush his teeth? How does he eat? These are questions that needs to be answered. I don't have once seen his mouth. So how he drink, how he eat, how he breathing, bro.
These are the mysteries.
Can he really take it off? He probably can take it off, but I don't know. We haven't seen it. I don't know.
I don't know. He probably can take it off,
but damn, those two new villains.
See, I'm interested in what's going on just because he was looking at the picture of Midoriya, so they're obviously taking extreme interest in him, which is scary. Yeah. Very, very scary because they have their eyes on the
Midoriya.
What's it called? The apprentice, I guess, for One for All, and they're being directly controlled by All for One, and so that could set up for a potential disaster. You know, he's probably #1 on their like hit list if they found that out, that he's the next person for One for All. So they've taken extreme interest in him, which is scary, but also the two new villains that walked in, like I said, the blonde girl looks like a freaking and acts like a Japanese Harley Quinn. She really does. She's like kind of loopy, cutesy, blonde.
Oh my god, y'all know Stain?
Weird and psycho. Yeah, exactly.
That's my nigga.
And then we have the patch guy.
He was cool though.
The guy that they were focusing on in the other few episodes ago that we pointed out. Yeah, he looks cool. He looks really cool, but I'm so interested to see more about him.
But he's so fucking cool looking.
He looks really interesting.
And he tall. Like, I thought he was gonna be like one of the quiet villains, you know, not really saying much, but he openly talks and everything.
Yeah, so.
But then, what's the relationship with him and her? Cause they both came out at the same time.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that was because they were both clips of both of them were shown in the same episode when they were showing people that
she caught a body in the fucking corridor, and while he was just chilling watching it on the big screen.
Both of them in the same episode. They didn't show them together, of course. They showed different clips of them in different places, listening to the news about Stain and watching the news about Stain and being like, huh, that's interesting. So I'm interested to see what happens when they show up and get to know the League of Villains, because the League of Villains does not follow the same ideology, and they could tell them that up front that they do, but they're gonna find out that they don't.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's gonna create some very complex relationships there too, and a lot of enemies for the League of Villains.
Yeah, because in a way that could make Shigaraki angry. Oh, you know Stain? So y'all only come here because of Stain, huh?
No, I don't think that's it. No, I mean, Shigaraki might be mad internally about that, but no, remember the League of Villains knows that they're having people come because they think that they follow what Stain follows. You know what I mean? So I don't think he would like. No. I know that for sure. But I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if like, oh, okay, who's? No. Remember, because he sent out no moves and stuff into the city. So yeah, I know.
Yeah, you know. So
no, but I'm saying like they're welcoming them with open arms because they're trying to increase their numbers using Stain's ideology as their advantage, even though that's not what they're about.
Isn't it? Yeah.
That's what I'm saying is like later on, it'll be very obvious at some point to these new villains that they're not the same as Stain, and I feel like that could cause a lot of problems for the League of Villains.
Yeah, it looks like a fucking big ass war is going to happen.
It does, and it looks like there's going to be a lot of like intertwined.
And I want niggas to die.
Disagreements and arguments and battles and you just whoa.
No, not like that. And it's like, cause coming from a Dragon Ball Z fan, they're always wishing niggas back. That's like the number one use, you know, people would be like, I don't really fuck with Dragon Ball because we know they're gonna get Dragon Balls and wish everybody back. That's why I will always say that I love Dragon Ball Z, but Naruto have the best storyline compared to them two. So, because it's real. And we haven't seen anybody pretty much dead, killed off yet, but I would not mind if they do that because that's just... I'm not saying it as like a fucking sadistic way, but I like that. I want some darkness.
There are definitely. I feel like there's definitely darkness. I think the reason that we haven't had as much darkness. I mean, there was a lot of darkness with Stain in the mix, but I feel like now that we're getting more involved with League of Villains, and the more that we delve into that part of the plot, I feel like we'll see way more darkness for sure. But before you leave, be sure once again that you like.
Oh, that's what you're trying to go to.
That you subscribe and hit the bell notifications so you can be part of the early video squad.
Make sure you check out Patreon, and if you like it, go on and join.
You need a comment.
You need to comment too.
Yes, and check out Patreon.
And check out Patreon.
You need to do that, and you need to go follow our social medias. All the links will be down below to our Instagram for Anime Eats, my Instagram at Mr. Blue, and Rentro's Instagram at For Real Though.
Ooh, that's a fire ass name right there.
That'll all be down below.
Awesome.
But
until next time, adios. How long can we keep it?
I already stopped.
Bye.